What is going on, everybody? So listen, I know on this particular channel that I usually or have started to usually cover baddies, but race relations and topics about Black people excelling and exceeding in life, whether it's the industry or whatever, are important topics to me, and I hope we can connect with this. Right, Selling Sunset is a show that I've loved since it started. I think it picked up around season two, season three for me, but I loved it. I've watched all of the seasons, going back to Christine to when Chriselle comes on board, and now we are here with the effery that is season nine. And the reason why I have issues with this particular season is because this is the first season that I've watched this show and felt like I don't understand what the hell is going on. The issue between Chelsea and Mary, don't get it. The issue between Chriselle and Brie, don't get it. The issue between Emma and Chriselle, I really don't get it because Chriselle was, and now I've been saying this before I watched the reunion, but Chriselle was so when she should have been like chill, right? We don't know why Chriselle is acting the way that she's acting because everything's edited out. Chriselle and G don't really understand what's going there, but okay, cool. We saw her at the studio. Great. She's always they are always in Australia or Alaska, wherever she is. Australia, I believe it is. And Chriselle, she is just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did I start watching Sunset? Because from the very beginning, it was a class of women that were selling multi-million dollar properties. I love real estate. I love architecture. I love interior. I love exterior design. And so that just I gravitated towards that. But on this show, they actually sold homes, and these women were actually doing the dang thing. I like to see women be strong and powerful and lead, right? And so I loved that. Then every season got better. The production got better. Their wardrobe got better. Christine was an old nasty witch, but she was a villain that anybody could like, and it was just a great show. I always wish that we saw more with Brett and Jason, but it was all about the women, right? And then we get, spinoffs or whatever, and no shade, but none of the spinoffs, especially Selling Tampa, could 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 give what Selling Sunset give. I don't watch Orange County. I don't. It's not giving, right? And so I want to talk about this season and the reunion that we just watched. Like I said earlier, this season was crap. No complete storylines, everything edited out. All we're seeing is we see the beginning, don't get any of the middle, and then we see the ending. Why in the world is Mary overreacting on some freaking flowers? Before the reunion and before all of this has come out, I did not know what her issue was because it was not explained on the show. It was not expressed on the show. And I'm left looking like, what the hell is the problem? And then you see the one scene where Chelsea is like, don't you effing touch me. Da da da. What led to that? Nothing about what I saw in this show would lead to Chelsea reacting like that. Why is Mary getting up and walking away? Nothing that I've seen so far would explain why Mary is getting up and walking away. And why is there's a lot of whys and not enough answers. And so I saw the reunion, which only expressed and explained one thing: the relationship between Emma and Chelsea. That's the only thing that I got some clarity with. And even more so to understand why Chelsea was not Chelsea, Chrishell was overreacting. The moment she said, you would call me crying on the phone, you were whispering in the bathroom about everything that you were going through. Girl, I'm checked out. I want nothing to do with this anymore. If I'm your friend and you're scaring me the freak out of my life, whispering to me in the bathroom about this man that, first of all, you're already cried to me for, and I'm telling you not to be with this person, and you're stressing me out, and you're still with this person. I can understand Chrishell's heightened sense of disdain for this person now. And then to find out we're hanging out, you and me, my girlfriend, hanging out at the Beyonce concert, not even midway between the Beyonce concert, you tell me you got to leave to get on a flight to go help your family out or do something with your family. And then I come to find out that you lied to me and you ended up in Bahamas to help this boy celebrate his birthday. The man that you just was calling me on the phone with, crying and whispering in the bathroom because you didn't want him to know that you was what? That is crazy to me. But that explains Chrishell's spot on the show and her energy toward this man. That's explained. But Selling Sunset didn't show me any of that. Okay. Watch the reunion. That's the only thing that was resolved. Chrishell and Emma. No resolution with Mary and Chelsea. No resolution with Bree and Chrishell. They having an argument. Bree go back crazy out of nowhere. Cussing. Chrishell obviously has to defend herself. And Bree is left standing like, ain't nobody gonna talk to me the way I blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. And the guy's like, well, we'll deal with it when we come back. And Chrishell's like, yeah, we can. And Bree's like, yes, we most certainly can. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. They come back from commercial break. We talking about the OC. What? So I understand Emma and Chrishell. Cool. I get it. Right? I more so understand Chrishell. Emma is sitting in a spot where she's just like a Nicole. Be quite. She's just like a Mary. No shade. They're not taking accountability for anything. They're like, well, if that's what you feel, then I guess that's how you feel. Nicole can't even freaking apologize to save her freaking life. Emma's just sitting there like, well, you did this to me, and I just wish you would have been there for me. What? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And I'm like, you don't understand what the hell Chrishell is talking about? You know, if my friend is crying to me in the bathroom, whispering to me, I'm going over to the house. What are we talking about here? And you're just like, well, you shouldn't put that on social media. Now, Harold, I will say, I've gone through a lot of things in my life, and I may be a little bit all over the place. Don't mind me. We need to adopt similar connections as part of our differences. I need my connects to chime in. I've been all over the place, but I've been through a lot of things in my life. People have done me completely wrong. And there have been times where I've been a Chrishell and went on social media, and that was the wrong thing to do. That was the wrong thing to do. I've been there, done that. I was in like maybe my early 30s when I did that. None of these women are in their 30s. At least I don't believe. They're probably in their 30s going on to 40s. Maybe I was like 31, 32, whatever. Been there, done that. I can understand the problem with that. I can. I know Chrishell ain't in her 30s. How old is Chrishell? How old is Chrishell? 44. We the same age. Okay. And so yeah, I wouldn't do that today. And I would hope that she would learn from that. Yes, she took accountability with that straight away, took accountability with that and apologized, and we can move on. Emma didn't take no accountability and shit. Like, you don't get to just beat my friend and you tell me about you problem dump on me with no resolution. I'm sitting here giving you advice, trying to tell you what you need to do. You ain't listening to me, but you call me though. You call me whispering from the bathroom though. But you go back to the problem that you just called me and stressed me the hell out because I care about you. You stressed me the hell out. You still go back to the punk. Yes, I'm gonna have animosity towards this whole situation because you're not caring about me. You're not caring about me in this situation. You can't just problem dump on somebody, make somebody care and worry about you, and then you go back to the problem and everything's okay because that's my position as a friend. I'm supposed to just sit there and play that. What? That's crazy to me. And Emma's just like, well, you just shouldn't have went to social media. I'm over it. Girl, no. Okay, boom. Let's move past that because I ranted and raved on that. I'm watching this. I'm watching Selling Sunset, a show that I call my favorite show, my favorite reality show, top 3. I'm watching this. I'm in awe, admiration, inspiration, respect, all of that for Chelsea. I don't like how she came on, being messing with Brie. Let's be clear. Don't like that, never liked that, didn't care for it. It made no sense to me, right? But she came on via Christine. Christine was the villain. I feel like Chelsea felt she had to be the villain. It made no sense to be the only black girl in a mix of millionaire white broads and be the villain. Never made sense to me. Never made sense to me, Chelsea. But whatever. That was her way into the show. She's in there now. Boom. She has a run-in with Brie. It is what it is. They go back and forth. I'm like, oh, I just want her to get out of this bubble. Get out of this bubble. Get out of this bubble. You are the black girl on the show, the gorgeous black girl on the show. Get out of this bubble. Boom. She's working on it. She's working on it. She's working on it. Bree decides to be a villain, come back and mess with Chelsea about her divorce. Blah blah blah. Okay, fine. Between Bree and Chelsea, I overstand. I don't get it with Mary. And now all of this stuff is coming out with Mary, and I'm like, that's a problem for me. Because if Jason and Brett are hiding all of this stuff, we're gonna see Chelsea is in Chrishell is in the comments saying they're editing out all of the real stuff, the actual issues. I'm sitting here watching season 9, don't even know what the hell we're screaming for. What's the problem? I don't know. She get flies. Oh my God, I'm not supposed to have these like this. The flowers. Girl, what are you doing this for? We don't know. No context clues, no nothing. Until today. I watched the reunion. The reunion was shit. It was trash. Trash to me, trash. Only thing explained was Chriselle and Emma. Didn't get no explanation for Bree. Didn't get no explanation for Mary. Until now, I want y'all to watch this. And this is a problem. This is a problem for me.
Into the O group, I saw the microaggressions. Chelsea was the only one that had to prove her worth before she was accepted into the group. I remember when Christine brought her in, I think it was in season 5, and she went to Brett and Jason and was like, I know this girl, her name's called Chelsea, we get on really well, she's into real estate, she's really good at what she does, I think she should come in, because Christine was planning her exit. Brett and Jason said, yeah, sure, we'd love to meet her. And then they turned around and said to Chelsea, if you can sell this property, we'll let you into the group. No other person in the O group that we've seen on Selling Sunset has had to do that. Everyone else has come in by association, by recommendation. None of them have had to sell a damn thing to end up on the show. Only Chelsea. We cannot pinpoint the exact thing that has made Mary dislike Chelsea so much. And in the last season, it was Mary that was antagonizing Chelsea, talking about her behind her back, getting into her business. And then when Chelsea put the boundary up and said, don't you dare, don't ever have my name in your mouth, that gave Mary a reason not to like Chelsea. But she didn't like Chelsea anyway. She just doesn't like the fact that Chelsea will speak up for herself. What takes the cake now is she's trying to use anything to make Chelsea seem like a threat when she isn't. How are you going to be so upset because someone sent you flowers? I don't care if it was staged or not. I don't care if Chelsea did it so that she can appear some type of way on the screen. For the fact that Mary reacted like that, this same attention that you're saying that Chelsea is looking for, you gave it to her. Because you really could have read that note and put it down and continued your conversation with Bree and your man. But no, you had to make a big hoo-ha about it. You had to run out to the filming crew, start screaming and shouting, having a hissy fit, moving like a banshee, basically giving Chelsea a storyline that you don't want to give. Then you got Bree looking like a damn hypocrite and a fool, talking about how pretty the flowers are. Then as soon as she hears they're from Chelsea, all of a sudden they're ugly and they get thrown in the bin. Then at the dinner, you got Alana walking in giving Mary flowers on camera. Mary doesn't say a damn thing. Mary's going on about she feels bad because she feels this way when people have lost their houses to the fires. Then you got Chelsea telling Mary she has every right to feel that way, sowing life into her, affirming her feelings. She's all acting like, yeah, thank you so much. Only for her to throw under the bus, talking about how you sent me those flowers, you could have sent me a text. Regardless of what Chelsea had done, Mary was always going to have an issue with it. If Chelsea had only sent her a text, she would have turned around and said that Chelsea was being disingenuous. Chelsea was never going to win. And what Mary can't stand is the fact that Chelsea has clocked onto her, and she's not the kind of person that's just going to take it lying down. She's going to tell you what's what, whether you like it or not. And I've heard through the grapevine that Chelsea called her out for her microaggression and racism. And that's why Brett and Jason were calling for the cameras to be turned off. And that's why Chelsea turned around and said, no, when you was getting your content, you was fine. But the moment I'm calling things out for what it really is, all of a sudden you want to turn off the cameras. No, turn the cameras back on. And I know that's what happened because Chriselle has come out and made it clear that at that dinner table, allegations of racism and microaggressions were made. That's why Mary was gobsmacked, shocked that Chelsea would ever have the guts, the gall, to call her out to her face on camera. Anyway, for me personally, if they get rid of Chelsea off the back of what we saw in season 9, I will be boycotting Selling Sunset. Because I haven't forgiven you lot for getting rid of Selling Tampa from the moment Chelsea came into the O group.
Okay, so listen, I want to read through these comments real quick. Someone said, I'm so glad they didn't cut the footages of Mary crashing out at her house when she received the flowers. And then again at the dinner when we got to see who Mary really is, a Karen. Another person said, did you watch the reunion? Bree claims she has no issues with Chelsea, yet every time Chelsea spoke, Bree has something to say under her breath, making a face, rolling eyes. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Why is Chelsea making these women so pressed? Why are they so pressed about Chelsea? I don't understand it. At Galentine's dinner, they mentioned Chelsea's name 100 times and crying, yet Chelsea herself was away with 2 other girls talking about real estate and future obsessions. Yes! The way Mary reacted at the Galentine's was batshit crazy. Another person says, meanwhile, Sandra seems like she has never sold property or Alana until recently through the show. Like, right. Romaine is sick of Mary as well. Another person says, especially Bree, because I don't know if y'all remember when Bree first came on, all the girls in the office was talking about her relationship. Chelsea was the only one real enough to say how she felt to her face. But suddenly everyone can be forgiven except Chelsea. That's weird. She was also the only one who had directly apologized, explained why it was a trigger for her, and then tried to be friends with Bree after assuming they reached common ground. Like, honestly, to me, Chelsea has been experiencing the most microaggression I've ever seen on reality TV in my life. And I love Amanda, but if she justifies that they don't hate Black people because they've been friends for years, girl, bye. You are white passing your Blackness. Isn't the kind that offends, and also you're very agreeable and always trying to be the peacemaker, and so you wouldn't have experienced it. But don't act like what they're doing to Chelsea isn't problematic. This person is Dammy.Zane. I'm going the rest of their thing. So she talked about this video. I want to see Selling Sunset. Mary lacks accountability.
So I just finished watching Selling Sunset season 9's reunion, and I just want to say, if you're waiting for Mary to come and take some accountability for her invalid crash out over the flowers that Chelsea sent, don't bother watching it. It's actually a waste of time. They wasted so much time on things that do not matter, such as showing us the trailer for Selling Sunset Orange County, instead of actually addressing the things that we want to know. Fair enough, Nicole came out and she stood 10 toes down on what she said to Chrishell. Bree and Chrishell had an argument, and then they decided to have a lunch break and come back to it later, but never did. So at this point, I actually don't understand why Bree and Chrishell are not cool. The only thing that I can infer is that Bree doesn't like Chrishell because Chrishell is still close to Chelsea. Mary was under high pressure and high stress. That's why she reacted the way that she reacted to Chelsea's flowers. I'm not falling for it. It was acknowledged that Chelsea wouldn't have known the filming schedules of any of the other women on the show. So how could she have possibly timed it? And all Mary could say was she did say on camera that she was going to send flowers. Bree said on camera that she was going to invite everyone to her Galentine's. And I'm with Chriselle on this one. Why is it that when Bree sent everyone an invite to her Galentine's, Chelsea included, even though she doesn't like her, that was her extending an olive branch. Right. But when Chelsea sends Mary flowers, it's fake, it's staged, it's disingenuous. The double standards are loud. Mary trying to say that Chelsea isn't a struggling single mom because she had a rich ex-husband. And then Chelsea saying to her, no, I don't get nothing. I don't get alimony. I don't get any support. Even then, Mary couldn't take her words back. She turns around and says, if that's true, then I apologize. And then when Chelsea hit back and said, it's on public record, Mary turns around and says, oh, I don't be looking you up. Listen, if you're going to accuse her of lying, then maybe you should be looking her up. It's actually appalling for Mary to talk like that about Chelsea. These times, she's a single mother herself. And on top of that, Mary even doubled down and made it clear that unless there's no toxicity in the office, she's going to leave and go to Bali. And then her closing words before the end of the reunion was that it's down to Jason and Brett, basically reminding them of the conversation she had with Jason on the show when she basically said, it's Chelsea or me. This whole reunion was an opportunity for them to come to us with the bullshit because no accountability was taken. They didn't even address microaggression, racism, or even the real reason why Mary doesn't like Chelsea, because up until now, I still don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Right. Out of everyone disliking Chelsea, the only person that is justified is Bree. Before I even put the reunion on, I already found out that Chelsea no longer works with the O Group. In fact, her license ended in June this year. And now that I know that, and I've seen the reunion, the same way that Mary wants to stand 10 toes down and not take accountability for her microaggressions against Chelsea is the same way I'm standing 10 toes down, and I will not be watching any Selling Sunset seasons after this. This is the last one. The whole franchise can go in the bin. Orange County, LA, New York, whatever, I don't care. It can all go in the bin. The only one they can bring back that I will pay any dust to would be Selling Tampa. So I just finished.
Okay, so just to be clear, Selling Tampa just did not do it for me. It just did not do it for me. I felt like, I can't remember an episode where they sold a home and it was just all about the drama, not about the house. I felt like Selling Tampa was like a Love and Hip Hop, and it was just not what I wanted. And that's just that on that. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. Secondly, let's get into these comments. So Bree and Chriselle won't ever be good because Bree promoted a MAGA jewelry brand and is being sued by former employees. And Chriselle made it clear she doesn't want to have that kind of person in her environment. As for the double standards, I'm starting to believe Chriselle and Chelsea are the only two of the O group who aren't racist. Ooh, wait. Ooh. Another person says, your reviews are so spot on. Yes, Dami Zane, awesome. Another person says, Emma trying to play the victim after dating a hateful person and pretending not to defend him while defending him consistently was just disappointing. You have to be the worst best friend to blame Chriselle for the things that have happened to you because of your own choices to date someone. I'm glad Chriselle was mean to everyone because every girl has gotten away with being a bully, heck, strong, etc. Just because Chriselle has turned her personality from a nice girl to one who can't be bothered by shit, people are bashing her and calling her manipulative. And I'm tired of Mary playing the victim. Even after someone was kind to her and is still holding their own during the reunion, even when you're literally calling them shady for sending you flowers. Another person says, this reunion was BS and rushed. I thought the same. They should have waited. They should have waited till the season air, then have the reunion. Mary using her privilege to get Chelsea out of the O group. We saw it, pure manipulation. Another person says, well, Chriselle said that she's not coming back, and I really think Chelsea should do her own thing. She's smart and brilliant. She don't need Selling Sunset. Another person said, Mary is just jealous to her core. Jealousy is not a good trait, Mary. It will hurt you from inside. Another person said, racism, favoritism is real. These people have no problem to cut your livelihood off just like that. Listen, I stand firm on everything that has been said. I stand firm on Debbie Zane. I stand firm watching the show. I just knew when Chelsea turned and said, don't you ever touch me, I said something else is happening and we're not seeing it. I said somebody has to protect this black woman. In my head, in my mind, I immediately went there because she's the only one having these kind of visceral reactions. Something is happening. We're not seeing it. What is the issue? To be the only black woman in a sea field of millionaire white people, I feel bad for her. And then I go to Chelsea's thing, right? Because granted, like I said, I wasn't always team Chelsea. Her and the Bree situation never really made sense to me. But I'm like, okay, whatever. We can always redeem ourselves, right? I come to here and I see this beautiful woman. Shout out to Chelsea because Chelsea be hitting me up in the DMs and be responsive in the DMs. I appreciate you, Chelsea. You are beautiful. I love you. All of that stuff. There is no way that we're gonna act like this is not a goddess. This is a goddess. A goddess. And then we have Chrishell saying stunner. We have Emma saying, oh my God. We have somebody else saying, my girl, heart emoji, heart emoji. She can be any size and be badass F. That's crazy. I'm watching the new season of Selling Sunset, and I just wanted to tell you how amazing you look. You look so healthy and happy. Chrishell, Chelsea is that girl. This photo, there's no way. There's no way. She's gorgeous. Gorgeous. But then I saw this, right? And I have to delete the music because I can't. I feel so immediately I'm starting to get emotional because I feel so bad for her right now in this scene. Me hyping myself up to work with a group of girls that hate me. Okay. Then in her comment, she says, season 9 was rough. And then Chrishell says, get in the car, I'll drive. Then someone says, and mind you, I just realized that Bree is basically blackfishing because why is her sister white as F? Another person says, we ride at dawn about you. Another person says, unpopular opinion Mary gives, I don't like you because you're black. That's it. That's all. Another person says, and yet you're still the brightest, baddest, kindest, most beautiful inside and out of them all. Another person says, you represented us well, and the Karen of a Mary needs to... I'm just getting emotional reading these comments. I'm getting emotional looking at Chelsea. Listen here. It sucks because I loved the show. It sucks because I want to continue watching. But to find out that she no longer has a license, she's no longer with the old group, or her license expired in June, to find out that Chrishell is not coming back, we're just going to get a bunch of new broads. The Vagara girl, I'm not seeing it for her. And then the rest of the women, Amanda, she never sells a home. Like, what am I watching this for? For Bree and Mary? Alana barely said it. Alana had no storyline except for the house that she got renovated over a year after dealing with the project for a year. That was her only storyline. That was like 1/2 of a second of an episode, and it was done. What are we watching this show for? What are we watching it for now? Look at this. I feel so horrible for her. And it's crazy because when you think of all the shows, OC, only one black girl. Selling Sunset, only one black girl. And let's be clear. When Amanda walks around, no one thinks she's black. No one thinks she's black at all. At all. And yes, she can be half black. That's all great. She could be that underneath her skin, but she walks around, ain't nobody thinking that woman black. Chelsea walk around, ain't thinking she black. No, she black, and that's that. And they already have some kind of disposition about her. I wish that I could be in a more powerful position, like a position like a Tyler Perry or something like that, because I feel like with me, I got double vices, right? I'm black and I'm gay. And I just wish I wish I was in a position of power and money to be able to produce content for us, gay narratives, black strong women narratives. Why don't we have a Selling Sunset of all black people? Because Selling Tampa was made to be a loving hip hop version of Selling Sunset. First of all, they didn't even have the camera crew, the budget behind that. It did not look and give the season production that Selling Sunset had. And all that show was just all about drama. No shade. It was not a good show. And I'm not just going to say it was a good show because it was all black led. No, it was trash. It was trash, period. But these other privileged shows only have one black person, and then we got to get some random Hispanic, whatever, Latin descent person just to fill the quota. And it's never that she knows anybody, really. We just came across her. Oh, we saw her on the street. We saw her on the street. Let's get her. I feel bad. I feel bad for Chelsea. And I don't even know if y'all watch Selling Sunset, but listen here. In all of these situations, I always want people of color, minorities to do well and thrive. Because no matter where we are in the world, white people always have the advantage of always being 4, 5, 7 steps ahead because of how they are and what they look like. Let's be clear. You don't have to be a racist to understand that people sit in a pool of privilege. Let's be clear. And if you're one of those people that's just like, I don't see color, everything's equal, bitch, you're delusional. You're delusional. You're fucking delusional. And that's okay. You can sit in that vat of delusion, right? But no, this is real. And the fact that we were going through this during the season and they cut it out and we don't see why we have a beautiful goddess as Chelsea turning around and cussing out her boss because the evidence was cut out. Crazy to me. Crazy to me. And then she says, you don't get to dictate what we cut off just because we... That makes sense. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. I'm just glad that Chrishell is sitting with Chelsea. I'm glad that they are still cool because even though Chrishell is not black, she is LGBTQ and she deals with some bullshit too. I feel like all minority groups need to stand up and stick together, all of us. And Chelsea, you are a beautiful, gorgeous goddess. You are a chef by damn near. I don't know if you're a licensed chef, but baby, the food that you make, you can have a cooking show. You could do your own reality show. Baby, you got it, sis. You got it. And no shade, I don't think you should be in loop with the production of Selling Sunset because the way that they edit this is crazy. Crazy. And you know what's even more poignant? The fact that Miss Mary Mack turned off her comments on her Instagram. Because the people are running down her throat, turn off her comments, and people are even going after. Let me see what Emma thing is. Let me see Emma's Instagram. Selling Sunset. Emma's IG. Emma Hernan. She was in here commenting on Chelsea's thing. Let's go. Where was I? She was commenting. No, she was commenting on this one. She made the comment on this one. Let's go to. Okay, let's see what people are saying about her. This is the last post. Love the dress. Love you. Love the dress. Amanda. Okay, Heather. I like you, but you're losing your real friends because of a bad guy, and deep down you know it. Plus, you're switching friends too quickly, like with Brie after you criticized her and after everything she did to Chelsea. Okay. Another person says stunning. Another person says Team Emma. Another person heart emoji, my classy queen. Okay, boom. Let's see what else is being said. Let's see. Seven Sunset Premiere. I love you. We love Emma. Keep being you and don't let anyone dim your light. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, beauty, 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 beauty. Okay, let's see. What is this saying? Amanda, Jason. Let's see what Jason's page is looking like. Chelsea had to sell a house to be on the team. Everybody else got an introduction or slept with Jason. Got it. Ooh, wait. I didn't say that. Somebody else said it. This is for Jason, Brett, and production. When Mary had miscarriage in that show, Chrishell brought her gifts in front of the cameras. Alana this season brought her a bouquet of flowers in front of cameras. You, Jason, gave her 2 watches and offered her therapy, coupled in with in front of the cameras. The list could go on, but Mary went crazy, overreacted because of Chelsea's flowers. Jason's flowers is not a threat. Flowers is not shade. Okay, I'd hate to be a black woman working in your office. Oh, wait, Lord Jesus. Another person said, I brought chairs for everyone who came here to read the comments. Another person says, racism, favoritism, and sexual relationships is how y'all run y'all business. Sad. Another person says, it's so sus that Mary was more upset with Chelsea than she was with the robbers. Make it make sense. Another person says, why was Jason so angry? Why? Because Mary got ate up? He needs an investigation open because the entire business is an HR mess. Another one says, quick question. Why was Chelsea asked to prove herself by selling a house before she could be a part of the office, but everyone not of color gets to join without even having a license? Listen here. Listen here. If y'all ain't clocking it, y'all ain't clocking it. Y'all are clocking it. And then when you look at all his whole page, Okay, one black person is here. Who is this? Do we know this person? And thank you, Serena Williams, for everything. Is Serena Williams even in the picture? Oh, there go Mary, though. Oh, okay. Another black person. Ciao, bye, girl. Bye, girl. Bye, girl. No. And the thing is, you know what? The main root core and the issue of this is the people that are not black are just never going to get it. They're never going to understand the plight. They're always going to think, I don't see color. I don't see color. What's the problem? I have issues too. They're never going to get it. Just like straight people will never understand the issues that gay people go through. They're never going to get it. They're never going to get it. 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 Whoa, 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 whoa. Anyways, listen. I was Lee from AK Nation TV here on YouTube. Thank y'all for connecting with me on this. Hopefully this gets some kind of views because I know y'all only here for baddies. But let me know how y'all feel. Let me know how y'all think. And should I go live next time and do this live? Love y'all. Deuces.